So let's delve into more detail about the so-called knowledge factory. And to do this, let's consider this framework developed by someone who has deep practical insight about the information age. Someone who coined the phrase information architecture. Richard Salwerman is probably best known for having created the now famous TED Talks. The framework I just referenced is from his excellent book, Information Anxiety, which I highly recommend, but be sure to get the updated version, which is called Information Anxiety 2. In the book, Werman talks about a kind of evolution related to the use of information, which begins with data. In the information age, data is not the driving force. It's definitely important, but it's also often misunderstood and overvalued for misguided reasons. In the modern world, a lot of data is assumed to be information. For example, the lower third factoids you see when you watch CNN. But this so-called information is not very informative. It's just data. And data by itself, without context, is usually not all that helpful. But information can be very helpful, because information is what we get when we make sense of data. Information comes from filtering, organizing, prioritizing, and arranging data to help us make sense of it. The mere organization of data can influence the interpretation we give to it. So what's an example of organizing data to become more informative? There's a great example from the trial of John Gotti. He was acquitted because the jury didn't find the government witnesses credible. That's because of how Gotti's lawyer arranged data. Instead of relying on the jurors to remember the facts regarding convictions of the government witnesses, Gotti's lawyer showed them a spreadsheet with the names of the witnesses across the top and all the crimes listed from top to bottom. So you can see it's sort of like a big bingo card with X's marking the spots where government witnesses were convicted of particular crimes. And you can see how there are so many X's it looks like a winning bingo card. And some of the crimes, like this one for pistol whipping a priest, are interesting. Now, we know this was an effective trial graphic because the jurors asked to see it right before they rendered their verdict of acquittal. So this is a good example of arranging data in a way that becomes informative. And in this case, very persuasive. Now, as we've talked about, the real value comes when you use knowledge to get your clients some of the desirable results that they're looking for. And by results, I'm not talking about winning a lawsuit completely or getting everything they want in negotiation. I'm talking about the result of being satisfied with the work you do and how you do it. A high level of satisfaction is what clients are most willing to pay for and something that you can guarantee being able to provide, assuming you're on the ball with how you run your law firm's operations, which we will be talking about later on. Finally, beyond knowledge, there is wisdom. Wisdom comes when you develop a bundle of knowledge. For example, Charlie Munger developed a bundle of knowledge from studying law, psychology, decision-making, finance, and business strategy. When you can develop this kind of knowledge bundle, high-level clients will flock to hire you. So that's an overview of this important framework. And now you better understand the interplay between data, information, knowledge, and wisdom. Just remember that working with data and information is low-value work, and using your knowledge and wisdom is what will get you better clients, help you make more money, and make your work more interesting and more enjoyable.